When I would do things like that, right? In Catchweight 164, why me? I don't need to do that.
Okay, what if it's at 60?
168. No, I don't need to do anything like that.
Solid.
And there you have it. Canelo Alvarez tells Errol Spence to come to 168. He says he doesn't have to come to 164. He doesn't have to do that. Come to 168. Why? Because I told you so. Let me counterpunch. Let's look at Errol Spence. Errol Spence is coming from 147. He's the unified welterweight champion at 147. And Canelo telling him to come to 168 without a catch weight. This is bad. I'm going to tell you why it's bad. Because he's not taking in consideration that Errol Spence is a smaller fighter. He's not putting himself at a disadvantage for that other fighter to even up the weight. Okay, because Errol Spence is here, Canelo is here, so he can't come here. Okay, he doesn't want him to come here. He wants him to come up here where he's at, to 168. And you could kind of argue, well, he's going to be fighting Bivol. And I believe Bivol is at 168, right? Okay. Well, or is it 175? Let me see. Dude, I don't really remember. I don't remember if that was at 175 or not. But he's talking about fighting Alexander Usyk at 201 pounds. Alexander accepted, as you guys know. I counterpunched it earlier today. However, it just shows you, just because I am me, you have to do these things for me. You know, this person has to come down. This person has to come all the way up. It's almost like, well, dude, like, you ever heard of what fair means? See, disadvantages mean exactly that. Disadvantages hinder the performance of the performer. In this case, the boxer. So, why would you want to fight somebody that blew up that much? Unless Errol Spence is not truly a welterweight, that will not benefit him. Will it still be a good fight? Yeah, but it would probably be better psychologically, weight-wise, if he did come to 164, since he was at 160. Errol Spence, it would be different if Errol Spence was something else besides welterweight. I mean, even if he was a super welter or a middleweight, that would be one thing. You know, but he's a welterweight and he's always fought at welterweight. So why would you want a welterweight to come up all the way to 168? That's just, to me, that's just getting too much of the advantage, because if you pack on that much, and again, Errol Spence might fill out perfectly. He might look good at 168. He might punch hard at 168, but that's not determined. Okay, that's not determined that he will even perform that way at 168. All we do know is Canelo wants him to come all the way to 168 because he's Canelo. You know, now you can say, well, Canelo can do what he wants, but then at what point that I can do what I want attitude, at what point does that become a disadvantage to other people, to the point where that may go down to be the defining factor on why you won? Well, you told somebody that's a welterweight to come all the way up. Like, you guys can go back and remember how everybody shagged Canelo for fighting Amir Khan, because Amir Khan was a chinny 147-pounder. And he wasn't even a natural 47-pounder. He came from 140. Okay? And they met at 155. Now understand, that was a catch weight all by itself. So you got a guy that's the king of catch weights telling someone else, now I don't want to come in at a catch weight. It's totally hypocritical, because had he understood, like he should know what a catch weight means, why it's a catch weight, why it's important to meet somebody in the middle, or it's not even in the middle, people. He's not telling that guy to meet me at 160. 160 would probably be at the middle, 8 pounds no, that won't even be it. Well, probably 157, 158 would probably make sure that would go the way it's supposed to go if it was actually fair. No, he wants you to go past that. So you don't even want to meet him at 168, but you accommodated a fighter that wasn't as good, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You guys remember that? He met the bigger guy at 164.5. Do you guys remember that? And he beat the shit out of Chavez Jr. I mean, beat him round after round. And Chavez wasn't in any condition to even challenge him. That's what I'm talking about. I've seen Chavez better than that. I thought Chavez was at least going to press the smaller guy, put the weight on the smaller guy, but he was basically a weight-drained mannequin, okay? That's exactly what he was, a weight-drained mannequin. He didn't have any strength. It looks like he didn't have any energy. Yeah, Canelo was good. Canelo looked good. But understand, this was at 164 when Canelo was claiming that he wasn't even a middleweight. So you went past middleweight, claiming that you weren't even a middleweight. And you wanted to fight everything at 155, just like he wants to come up to Usyk and tell Usyk to come down 20 pounds or whatever he goes up to when he fights Joshua. You want this man to come down to 201. You want Errol Spence to come all the way to 168. Listen, you can't be deemed the best doing shit like that. You just can't. You could have the most money, like Floyd, maybe Mayweather has, but to be deemed the best, no, absolutely not. Because if you knew the importance of coming in at a catch weight to benefit yourself, you also should accommodate someone else to do the same thing, to benefit themselves, and see how it equals out and how it's fair. It seems to me that Canelo Alvarez is not trying to be fair to Errol Spence. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Canelo telling Errol Spence, no catch weight. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!